Oof, it's hot out. And here's the bait to catch those big summer bass in that summer heat. And stick around to the end of the video and I'll show you exactly how to scout out a pond to find places to throw these baits. In the peak summer heat, think about yourself. What do? You do two things. You either go look for AC or you go find shade. And the bass do the same thing. There's two ways for them to find comfortable water temps for them, and that's looking for shade or looking for AC. How do we find those shallow points? And really, like I said, they're looking for shade. So things that create shade all day, not just at one point of the day, somewhere that the shade is always shady, that water will always be a little cooler. And also, if your lake or pond has some kind of water source flowing in, the bass will push right up into that water, not only for nutrients, but also because for them, it feels like AC. First up is some kind of big worm that can be fished wacky or on a Neko rig with a nail weight in the front. In the summertime, especially if you have those big overhanging trees on your pond or lake, I have a lot of fun skipping these worms underneath those trees and just letting them slowly fall. But also if you have those areas where that water is flowing in, just casting this worm into that flow of that water and just letting it slowly get washed out is a great way to pick up a few bass because it'll look super natural. It looks like just a worm getting washed out with the rain. And of course, we can't not talk about a big summer worm, like a big ribbontail. Was the big ribbontail super classic? Just go to a big Texas rig, pegged or unpegged. We can fish into vegetation. Thick lily pads, thick vegetations are constantly creating shade. That water underneath is a really great place for bass to hide. And you can fish a big worm like that through those reeds really well without getting hung up. And finally, we're going to go to the top water of choice in Korea right now, and that's buzzing with a soft plastic paddle tail. For this, I like a heavier paddle tail, something with a little bit more plastic to be heavy enough because we're going to be fishing this weightless on an EWG hook, and we're just going to be casting this over vegetation and burning it over the top and getting that buzzing action. As you're bringing this through the vegetation, if you see a hole in like the lily pads or the cheese mats that you're fishing, then you're going to get this bait over that hole and just let it sink down. Stop reeling and it'll slowly drop in, and that's a great way to get this bait to the bass when they're not coming up to eat it. Now let's scout some ponds out with Fishbrain. Now here we are in Fishbrain, and as you know, all these green dots are catches. When we're looking for this vegetation, what we should fish before we go out for a day of fishing, we're just going to take a quick scan on the sideline here, right? And of course, big thing we're looking for are big trees like this, casting a shadow. These are going to be great places to find shade to fish, but also we're going to be looking for vegetation. So when we zoom in a little closer, you can see all of this vegetation growing here. Now, if this vegetation is growing near some shaded trees as well as close to somewhere with some deeper water, this becomes a prime spot to fish. And sometimes in that summer heat, it may feel like the fishing is getting harder, but it does make it easier at the same time. That heat pushes the bass into key pieces of structure. So you're looking for the best shade that's possible, and those are the places that you're picking apart for the day. So what are you waiting for? Get out there.